Welcome to Quiz Circus. Think you know your world geography? Think again. In this quiz, you'll get 30 mind-blowing questions about the strangest borders on Earth, from villages split between two countries to rivers that redraw nations overnight. You'll have just a few seconds to think, so stay sharp. Don't forget to share your final score in the comments. Are you ready? Let's start. Which European town is famously divided between two countries, Belgium and the Netherlands? Baarle-Hertog-Nassau, Strasbourg, Basel, or Luxembourg City? If you picked Baarle-Hertog-Nassau, you're spot on. What narrow strip of land separates North and South Korea? The Gobi Corridor, Yalu Line, Demilitarized Zone, or Seoul Pass? The correct answer is the DMZ. Which U.S. region was accidentally created due to a 1700s mapping error and remains geographically odd? Northwest Angle, Four Corners, Big Bend, or Lake Tahoe Line? If you answered Northwest Angle, you're right. Which country is completely surrounded by Italy? Monaco, San Marino, Vatican City, or Andorra? The correct answer is Vatican City. Which African country's border was drawn with a straight ruler line through the desert? Namibia, Egypt, Libya, or Mali? If you said Libya, well done! Many African borders were drawn during the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 85. These ruler lines ignored tribal and ethnic boundaries. What European microstate is located entirely within the French Riviera? San Marino, Liechtenstein, Monaco, or Andorra? The correct answer is Monaco. It's smaller than New York's Central Park. There are more millionaires than citizens in Monaco. Which pair of countries share the world's shortest international border? Just 150 meters long. Spain and Portugal, Botswana and Zambia, Austria and Slovenia, or Estonia and Latvia? If you picked Botswana and Zambia, that's correct. Which Asian river forms part of the border between India and Bangladesh and often changes its course? Indus River, Ganges River, Brahmaputra River, or Mekong River? The correct answer is the Ganges River. Which country completely surrounds Lesotho? Botswana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, or Eswatini? If you picked South Africa, you nailed it. Which two countries share the only land border between Africa and Europe? Spain and Portugal, Spain and Morocco, France and Algeria, or Italy and Tunisia? The correct answer is Spain and Morocco. Which two countries share the only border where you can ski from one nation into another without showing a passport? Switzerland and Italy, France and Spain, Austria and Germany, or Norway and Sweden? If you said Switzerland and Italy, you're correct. You can literally cross the border mid-slope. Which Middle Eastern country has a border shaped like a narrow panhandle called the Wakhan Corridor? Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, or Turkmenistan? The correct answer is Afghanistan. Which U.S. state shares the longest international border with Canada? Maine, Alaska, Washington, or Montana? If you picked Alaska, you nailed it! Which European country has a land border with both France and Spain? Andorra, Belgium, Monaco, or Switzerland? The correct answer is Andorra. What two countries are separated by the world's longest undefended border? United States and Canada, Russia and Finland, Germany and Austria, or Norway and Sweden? If you said Canada and the US, you're absolutely right. Which African island nation lies just 400 kilometers off the coast of Mozambique? Madagascar, Seychelles, Comoros, or Mauritius? The correct answer is Madagascar. What European country has one of the world's most complex borders due to hundreds of enclaves and exclaves? Belgium, Luxembourg, Austria, or Slovenia? If you picked Belgium, well done. Here is a fun fact. Belgium's borders with the Netherlands include Barle-Hertog, a border puzzle of 30-plus enclaves. Some front doors literally determine a person's citizenship. Streets can switch sovereignty every few meters. Which South American country borders both the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean? Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, or Ecuador? The correct answer is Colombia. Which Caribbean country shares the island of Hispaniola with the Dominican Republic? Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, or Barbados? If you said Haiti, that's correct. Which Asian country borders both Russia and North Korea? Mongolia, China, Kazakhstan, or Japan? The correct answer is China. Which African country has a border that is almost a perfect circle around its neighbor, the Gambia? Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, or Sierra Leone? If you picked Senegal, you're absolutely right. Which U.S. city borders both Canada and Mexico by land? No U.S. city borders both countries, but it's a common misconception. The correct answer is none. Which European capital city borders both Europe and Asia? Moscow, Istanbul, Athens, or Tbilisi? If you picked Istanbul, that's correct. What two South American countries are separated by the world's tallest waterfall, Angel Falls? Venezuela and Brazil, Colombia and Ecuador, none, or Peru and Chile? The correct answer is, it's entirely inside Venezuela. Which small European country has borders with both Germany and Austria? Slovenia, Switzerland, Czech Republic, or Liechtenstein? If you picked Liechtenstein, you got it right! Which African country has both Atlantic and Mediterranean coastlines? Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt, or Algeria? The correct answer is Morocco. Which country shares a border with both Norway and Finland? Sweden, Russia, Denmark, or Estonia? If you picked Russia, that's correct. Which country shares the longest border with China? Mongolia, India, Russia or Kazakhstan? The correct answer is Mongolia. Which South American country has a small town where 3 countries meet at one street corner? Brazil, Argentina, Peru, or Bolivia? The correct answer is Brazil. Which European country's western border is largely defined by rivers and lakes? Finland, Sweden, Norway, or Estonia? If you picked Finland, that's correct. That's the end of today's quiz. Well done for making it to the end. How many did you get right? Share your score in the comments. Do you know something cool we didn't mention? Add your fun fact down below. If you enjoyed the quiz, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.